This is SCP-056, and it is one of the weirdest SCPs, but for a reason that you might not have expected.
Let's find out why.
The gleaming steel scissors glide effortlessly through the sheet of red material, slicing through as if nothing was there.
What are they
The
cutting?
blood red fabric parts to either side.
Carpet.
A pair of hands pick up one of the pieces and hold it up into the air. The man admires his handiwork before draping the cloth on a dress form and pinning it in place. Although there are many tables in the large room with sewing machines and mannequins next to them, they're all empty. The man works all alone in the big room.
Early predictions, I think this is going to be a Frankenstein situation where he's going to make this beautiful woman SCP creature.
Oh, so you think that this SCP is going to be man-created?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
It's early prediction.
I like that.
And it is
Good
impossible
prediction.
not to notice that he's an incredibly handsome man, too. So good-looking that no matter your preferences, you can't help but stop and take notice of his perfect facial features, his slim, fit physique, his lithe, dexterous hands. He brushes a strand of dirty blonde hair away from his vibrant blue eyes and takes a pin out of his mouth before adjusting the fabric just a millimeter more before sticking it in place.
Alec?
I have another prediction. He is going to become the SCP.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to put one of the dresses on and then, boom, it's going to warp him into SCP and he's going to turn crazy.
Okay, that one doesn't.
I have another prediction. I think this guy, like Alec is saying, maybe is the SCP, but I also think that this is one of the most dangerous SCPs. He's just giving me like a creepy vibe, and I have a feeling that he's probably going around killing people, and then maybe, I don't know, he's like a weirdo serial killer, and he's like making dresses for their dead bodies.
Make sure you guys are commenting down below what you think.
Really specific, Jack.
Jack.
Really
Jack,
specific.
you might need to see somebody.
The man steps away from the dress form and admires his work. There. Absolutely perfect. There's no doubt that this will be the closing look of the
It's a really
upcoming
slim
fashion
waist.
show. Another masterpiece. Just like him.
That's a little
But that doesn't mean that he's finished. There's still much to be done, and he goes back to work at his table, sewing bits of fabric together to create
never
embellishments
trust
for the
anybody that
opulent
works by
couture
themselves.
gown.
Especially in a
He's so
basement
focused
setting.
on his new design that he doesn't notice the fashion house's operating manager in the hall outside of the workroom. The manager points through the glass
so
window in
creepy.
the door and tells the two police officers
the
with
hands
him
are already there.
that this is the man they're looking for.
Oh, Jack, I think
There's
you're
been
right.
a number of tragic and mysterious crimes involving
Oh!
people connected to this
How did
fashion
you
company.
know?
Jack, you're a
Oh,
Police
genius.
have finally
my
closed in on a
God.
suspect. Well, not the police exactly, but two SCP Foundation agents posing as police officers. The Foundation became suspicious after learning that there had been several missing persons, murders, and mental
What?
breakdowns, all of which involved people connected to this one company. And even more
Oh,
specifically,
this is getting
they were
weird.
all connected to one man.
It's
They
him.
There
fell
was
for
plenty
his
of
good
evidence
looks.
that something more than just regular criminal activity was happening here.
I did too.
Something strange was happening. Something anomalous. One of the police officers nods at his partner before gesturing for the manager to leave. It's always better not to have civilians present during a containment.
Oh my gosh.
The incredibly handsome man still hasn't noticed his guests in the hall, remaining
He's so
completely
handsome.
absorbed
This guy
in his
mentions
work.
it every other
And
time,
he doesn't even
how
look up
beautiful
when the
this
two
guy
agents
is.
burst into the room, both with guns drawn, not taking any chances. Freeze! Drop your weapon!
Guys, I have a weird feeling that somehow he's gonna talk his way out of this situation, or they're gonna think that he's so beautiful that it could never be him.
Is that his superpower? He puts everybody in a trance like Jigglypuff?
They all have some like magical, weird, otherworldly ability, and if this guy is the SCP, like Alex said, then he has to have some really cool ability.
He's definitely the SCP, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, he's got me in some sort of trance. I don't even know what's going on.
I can't stop watching this video.
I'm locked in.
One of the agents shouts. The beautiful man doesn't respond and just continues snipping away at fabric with his scissors. I said freeze! He commands again. And this time, the handsome man at least appears to have heard them, finally stopping his work. He slowly looks up with his piercing eyes to gaze at the men who have intruded
Light blue,
into
my
his
favorite
creative
color.
workspace. Drop your weapon now, the agent tells him. The man looks over at his hand, which still holds the large pair of scissors.
I think I'd
and
shoot him by
smiles.
now. I'm terrified.
He gently places the scissors down on the table, careful not to let them touch the expensive cloth that is rolled out before him. Now put your hands up! This time, there's no response, and the man grips the edge of the table,
is he smiling?
It's
and
getting
stares
creepy.
into the eyes of the agents.
He knows
First
something
one,
we don't.
then the other. Hands
But
up
he's
or
about
we'll
to
be
wink.
forced to shoot! The smile slowly leaves the handsome man's face.
Oh my god, that's so creepy.
Will you excuse me for one moment? He says,
What?
though with no hint in his voice that it's actually a request. The agents seem unsure of what to do. Both of them appear taken aback and confused by his nonchalant
Don't do it!
attitude.
Don't trust him!
The
Shoot
handsome
him!
man turns away from the agents and quickly steps behind a dressing screen that's been
There's
set
gotta
up
be a
near his
secret
work
exit
table.
behind there.
As he walks
Oh my God, he's
behind
gonna
it,
turn
They just
this
let
into
he
him
doesn't
fall.
break his stride at all. He simply passes behind the screen
gonna turn
for
into the
mere
beautiful
seconds
woman.
and steps out on the other side.
What?
Only once he steps out, it isn't him.
That is the
He's a
obvious
shapeshifter.
woman.
The man that emerges
Yeah, I
from
think
behind
you're
the
right,
screen
Alec.
is a completely different person. Where once he was slim, graceful, clean-shaven, and
It's
dressed
a
in a fine
What
suit,
the heck?
now he is heavy and muscled, like a professional football
My
player
mind is
with
blown.
a thick beard,
That's actually
dressed
him.
as if he's a member of a SWAT team. Before the agents can even react to the bizarre metamorphosis, the large man charges them and begins attacking.
Shoot!
He snaps
Shoot!
the neck of one and plunges
Oh
the
my
scissors and
God!
snaps the
Shoot!
table into the other's neck.
Oh gosh!
More SCP
Oh my
containment
gosh!
specialists, these ones dressed in tactical gear with
I think
no
they have
attempt made
backup.
to disguise themselves as everyday
you
police,
kidding me?
flood into the room and open fire.
Yeah.
But the man who looks like a
Please.
Navy SEAL picks up the fallen agent's guns and begins firing both at the same time.
There is no way he wins a
outguns
1v5
and
like
outmaneuvers
that.
the agents,
This guy's
effortlessly
insane.
rolling behind cover while constantly firing,
Headshot,
taking out
headshot.
agent after agent. Screams fill the air,
God.
both
That's
from the dying
crazy.
SCP agents as well as the civilians who are struck through the walls by the onslaught, including the
no.
manager, who had snuck back to the door window to watch what he thought
I
would be
mean,
the snobby,
aw.
handsome man being taken into custody. The window behind the special ops soldier explodes, and two SCP
they got
agents
him.
will
They got
fall
him.
through,
Okay, good,
catching him
good,
by
good.
surprise. And
We don't
knocking him
even
to the
wait. I'm
ground.
not even sure if this is him.
Adam, come on. It has to be
It's
this
gotta
guy.
be him. What do you
talking
mean?
about? There's nobody else in the room but them three.
He could have had somebody tied up back there, and then when he went back behind the scenes, he threw this guy out. Then there's a secret entrance. I mean, secret exit that he left.
So you think he hired this guy as like a bodyguard?
Yes, that could be
I
a
don't know,
1,000 IQ
Adam.
play. We don't know
It's a
how
stretch.
how smart this guy is.
I honestly think that this man is the SCP and that all of the things that he has changed into are his victims. Like, this guy was one of his victims. So now he killed him, so now he can shapeshift into him. And he has all of his abilities. That is my prediction.
Wait, which one's Alec? I don't know who to look at.
I'm Alec. Hi.
I heard your voice, but you didn't wait.
Down. It takes even more agents rushing in to hold the man
guys
down
are
as he
confusing
struggles
me.
and screams like a wild animal, breaking one of their jaws for good measure before they're finally able to subdue him and
can't keep
confine
him
him with
contained.
heavy-duty straps.
Their
When
only
all
job
said
is
and
to
done,
secure, contain, and
17
protect, and they
agents
can't do
10
two of them.
civilians have lost their lives. But the anomaly has finally been
Well,
contained.
they did it.
Once
We
it
don't
is
know if
taken
that's
to a
him.
secured
I'm telling you, we
location,
don't know.
It is
It
given a
is.
new designation.
It has to be.
SCP-056. But the
Oh,
site staff
okay,
soon
it's
give
him.
it a new nickname, calling it simply a beautiful person. SCP-056 is one of the most deceptive and one of the most dangerous anomalies known to the SCP Foundation. It is a being whose size, gender, and appearance can all vary in an instant, and which will change in response to its environment. The form it has most commonly taken while in containment resembles a man who appears to be in his mid-20s. His exact looks will vary slightly, but he will always be what could be described as incredibly handsome, at
yeah,
least by
he looks
traditional
just like
societal
me.
standards.
Do you think that first character was his original form? Like what he was born with?
I don't think so.
Or do you think it's some sort of
No.
alien or something?
He was probably born super ugly, and he was really insecure, and so he did everything in his power to change his form to make himself look really beautiful.
If you could have this power, Alec, would you?
Sure.
But you could never change back to your original form.
Ooh, probably not then.
Okay. Yeah, you're too beautiful now. I don't know how you
I
get
wonder-
Thank you.
prettier.
I wonder what this SCP is going to do now that it's been captured, because it didn't even seem that worried about getting captured, but now that it is, I don't know, I have a feeling it's going to act really, really weird.
I have an idea. I think that he is going to turn into the most beautiful woman in the entire world, and he's going to subdue all of the guards and escape.
They
I
should
think
send
he
a
might.
blind person in there so that they can't even see what they look like, and then they won't even care.
They
Well-
can't see, but they can feel, they can touch.
They gotta tie him up, and then they can only talk. No touching, no looking.
Tie-up might be like one of that dude's kinks.
Standards. His clothes will change as well to be a style similar to those of other people around him, though they will always be of a higher quality and more aesthetically pleasing than anyone nearby is wearing. While that appears to be SCP-056's preferred form, it's far from its only one. In addition to the young man, it has also been observed taking on the appearance of several others, including a woman with a striking resemblance to Hollywood actress Scarlett Johansson, a form it took when walking past a group of a younger female
Oh.
staff, a male bodybuilder who could bench press over 250 kilograms, which was 30 kilograms more than the strongest security guard stationed at the
something wrong.
Foundation
Rock
site.
Johnson.
That's
I
It
the
think
took
way
the
I'm
form
right
of
for
a female
SCP.
doctor who was
Easter
measured
egg
as
there.
having an IQ score 30 points higher than any on-site researchers, as well as non-human forms, like a large, well-groomed Labrador
This guy
retriever
could
when it was
change his
exposed to
brain
another
chemistry to be
researcher's
smarter.
dog. And
Wait, so Jack, you were right. Every time that he forms into another person, he gets all of their abilities. Like, he can just turn into a super strong person, and then he actually becomes super strong.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that's what happened when he turned into the Navy SEAL. Like, he gained his abilities to headshot.
He didn't have to kill them in order to gain their abilities. He just has to like think of them, and then he can transform into them.
Maybe a
Which
dream.
is even more dangerous.
That's even more
And
powerful.
He
an
could
extremely
transform into Alec,
aesthetically
and then he
pleasing
probably would
couch
lose all of
when
his
left
memories.
alone in its own containment chamber.
What if he
These
transformed into
changes from one
God?
form to another occur whenever people
think he has
lose
to see
focus
them
on the
first to be able to
subject,
transform
something
into
that
them.
seems to happen when new people are exposed to SCP-056. And once they lose focus, it's
Heyo.
able to change in appearance virtually instantaneously. Attempts to film the transformation have resulted in the recording equipment exhibiting the same effect, seemingly losing focus, and being unable to
I'm
see
losing
exactly
focus.
what
It's
happens
working.
when
Oh, interesting.
The camera,
SCP-056
or me,
changes
lost
from one
focus.
form to another. Its clothing will
I'm
change
losing
along with
focus.
its bodily form, though so
That's a
far
large
it hasn't
man.
been observed manifesting weapons or other tools. Great efforts have been made to determine
He turned into a
SCP-056's original form,
The heck?
though so far, these have all been met with failure.
That's pretty
When
great.
placed within an empty concrete cell and placed under constant video surveillance, the cameras experienced the same loss of focus that others did, and then were met with a rather surprising figure left in the room.
I wonder if he can just transform into like something as small as an ant and just walk out.
It seems like he's only transforming into people right now.
What the heck was the photo of the couch?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Comment down below.
SCP-056 had taken the form of a video camera,
Oh.
Yes,
similar to the
okay.
one being used
You
to
were right,
record
Adam.
it, though a slightly more advanced and
Wait,
expensive
oh
model.
my god.
But-
Wait, that's actually so funny. So it turned into a better version of their cameras, just to show that it's better than them.
He just wants to be the best in the room, no matter what.
Exactly. It wants to make other people feel inadequate and like less good about themselves.
Attempts were made to discover its true form, this time without direct observation equipment, with researchers instead making use of passive scans that could detect changes to life forms. When they left SCP-056 alone and monitored it using these tools, what they found was nothing. There was no detectable body temperature,
It's all an
heartbeat,
illusion.
or even
What the
weight.
freak?
It
Maybe it's
appears
just a
that when not
spirit.
observed,
a ghost.
SCP-056 simply ceased to be.
You might be right.
Those who have personal contact with SCP-056 often report that the anomalous entity makes them feel substandard or jealous, as if they
That's-
can't measure up to it, yet at the same time will seem to seek its approval. This extends to SCP security staff, who will express a desire to follow its commands, while researchers will try to argue with it, something that usually results in them leaving its containment cell feeling as though they were outwitted by its intelligence. And
This guy's just better than
SCP-056's expert communication abilities seem not to be limited by complex subjects or language barriers. Research has shown it to be fluent in at least 200 different dialects.
This might
and
be
it
the
has
scariest
exhibited an
SCP
expert
that
level
we've
of
seen
knowledge
yet.
in such varied topics as fashion,
dangerous.
automobiles,
Yeah,
theoretical
it's so
science,
smart,
sports,
and it's,
and a
like,
multitude of
almost
others,
realistic.
all of which it will usually show a greater knowledge of than the person it is conversing
I wonder
with.
if it could transform
And
into a
despite
nuke.
leaving the conversations feeling dejected about their own abilities, those who talk to it will almost always express a desire to speak with SCP-056 again.
Adam, if you were trapped in a room with this SCP, what would you guys talk about?
Just like our love for nature.
Alec?
I don't know. This SCP reminds me a lot about AI, because he can just he's taking all the knowledge of everybody in the
Iverson?
world. No, artificial intelligence.
Oh!
He's taking the knowledge of everyone in the world like a hive mind, and then that's why he's smarter than everybody, because he knows what everyone else knows. So
I
he's
would
pretty much AI.
I'd probably just try to bully it and then see if like I could just make it think that it's uglier than me, even though it's not. Just like call it ugly and yo, you're so stupid, you idiot, and then maybe it'll work. I don't know.
Your forehead's bigger than mine.
I swear. And then his forehead actually like grows a little bit, and then he's so proud of it. But actually, I reverse psychologied him, and he looks ugly now.
That's actually genius.
Jack.
You are so smart, Jack.
I
Maybe
wish I
am
had your
just
IQ, dude.
SCP.
You're a genius.
No way, you're too ugly.
Oh, yeah, true.
I would just eat
Can't
dirt.
resist being
me
made
just-
to feel inadequate by it. A number of tests
Dwayne The
were
Rock
then
Johnson
performed
in
to
my face
discover
cam.
just what form
I put it in my face, too.
SCP-056 would take when presented with various situations, and the results were rather interesting. In the first, a male Class D personnel was given a knife and told to try and attack SCP-056.
That's not gonna
not
work.
smart.
056 quickly took the form of a young, fit man who was able to effortlessly disarm the
Oh my
attacking D-Class
gosh.
and
I
kill
would
him with the
transform
knife
into Jackie
instead.
Chan and just Wah!
In another test, a female
Karate.
D-Class entered its cell not with a weapon, but with a bottle of expensive wine. They were met with SCP-056 in the form of a young, beautiful woman who accepted the wine, but upon trying it, spit it out in the D-Class's face and sent them
the
away.
heck?
Next,
So
researchers
rude.
sent 2 D-Classes in at the same time, one male and one female, with no specific orders at all. SCP-056 appeared as a beautiful woman in a well-tailored business suit, who proceeded to examine both the D-Classes, pointing out their each and every physical flaw before
no.
sending them 2 on their way.
That's so
Researchers
messed
then
up.
tried sending 10 Class D personnel into the cell.
What's Class
all of
D?
whom were male and who had expressed
So Class D personnel, for those of you guys that don't know, are like prisoners or like just bad people that the SCP collects, and then they're like the test dummies of the SCP
Oh wow,
world.
that's messed up. So they're just little guinea pigs.
Somebody has to do it, you know?
I guess. Are they people that murdered other people?
Yeah, they're
Like,
really bad people that,
Okay.
like, you know, you would think deserve it, but sometimes maybe not.
for females. SCP-056 appeared as an especially beautiful female in a low-cut red dress. 056 didn't interact with the group in any way, but after 10 minutes, the D-classes began to look uncomfortable. Soon, an all-out brawl broke out between the D-classes as they violently assaulted each other, apparently for SCP-056's approval. 056 seemed to watch the melee with pleasure for several minutes before calling an end to it
It's
and
basically
sending
like
them
an
all out.
Instagram model.
A member of staff then volunteered to be tested
Alec,
with
you good?
SCP-056.
Release, Alec,
a level
release!
4 personnel who was regarded as being especially
that
beautiful
was
herself.
My new
She
favorite
entered
SCP.
SCP-056's cell, where the anomaly took the form of a similarly
This
beautiful,
SCP 's awesome.
professional-looking woman, and the two proceeded to have a conversation, discussing various advanced personnel management techniques. The discussion seemed amiable, but after 90 minutes, the staff member appeared to become infuriated with SCP-056 and quickly left the room.
SCP-506
While no
is
cross-tests
too good.
with other SCPs have yet to be performed, when asked about other anomalies,
Tickle Monster.
Tickle Monster.
SCP-056
It's the only
shows
counter.
a rare instance of vulnerability, expressing hatred towards them, and even occasionally,
Ew.
fear.
I'm gonna throw up.
SCP-056 has been relatively benign in its time in SCP containment, seemingly content to spend its time around Foundation staff. It's been allowed to have a cell of its own choosing, as well as pick its own furnishings, which have
Oh, I
tended
thought that
towards
was-
expensive and fashionable decor.
That was just different
Security
morphs.
staff assigned to guard it are equipped with high-powered tranquilizers, and any staff that exhibit mental irregularities after extended exposure to SCP-056
That's how I would react.
must undergo immediate psychological examination. It has frequently asked for access to the internet, and when
no.
asked why it desires that,
do it.
SCP-056 responded that the Foundation was unable to provide it with enough sycophants, and that it wanted the whole world to know its face. Needless to say, its request for internet access was
Well,
denied,
yeah.
and
Thank
the
you.
anomaly, which has been
would have
classified
a
as
million
Euclid,
followers on
continues
Instagram.
to be securely cut off from the general public and remains in Foundation containment. Now go and watch another.
Wow. And that is the story of SCP-056.
That might be the most terrifying SCP of all time, or the best. I don't know yet. My mind is all over the place today.
I feel inadequate.
I'm stupid. I need to change my nose. It's too big. Did you guys ever notice this?
Take a
Did you guys ever-
shower.
I don't. This is the first time I'm noticing my nose is huge.
Forehead. My red hair. My red hair.
Where's the knife? I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off. Guys, quick! Click this next video.
Get out of here. You don't want to look at me anymore.
Don't even look at me.